Yankees against the Rays at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Also had a 52-pitch live BP mixed in. You see what he did back on Nation this season. We get a look at him today, and he will be supported by the Yank.org. By FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150. And by Acura. Precision crafted performance. All smiles. And a very representative lineup for both teams. On the mound, John, will have a pitcher who we know in this season, that's Carlos Rodon.
Well, Ryan, I think you can say he's probably the most through last year. Obviously came out of camp with some injury concerns and was playing a multi-year contract. Needs to have a good spring, needs to be healthy and in thick shape. And you can see it right there with Rizzo. He's an aggressive person because the way last year went, Ryan, I don't care if you're a veteran or a rookie.
Also to quell any narratives or turn the page on them starting the season rather than kind of brought to you by your local Tri-State Volkswagen dealer for the Rodon warming up here at George M. Steinbrenner Field.
Good look at the flight of the baseball. Good fastball right there from Rodon. Last year, 14 starts, a 3-8 record, and that ERA inflated. The puzzle not only for the rotation, but maybe the entire roster, and change it up in a good frame of mind, confidence-wise. Mentioned it, a veteran player who had
threw a few cutters in his live BP. Wants to throw a few more as he moves through this spring training. Then he will face Yandy Diaz here to right center and deep. Judge looking up. Diaz takes the first pitch out to right center, and the Rays lead it 1-0.
But also in the power department, and he did not waste any time. Another look at the location, middle, up, out, a little bit in Tampa today.
See how Rodon bounces back after that in that live BP. Attention to the results of a live BP, but because what we're talking is results throughout this spring training.
Good slide and positives here during the spring.
Misses there.
Pretty good spot at this point in spring training.
That ball is skied to take a look at the Yankee defense. Yeah, Verdugo in left, Judge behind the plate to catch Rodon. Other than Volpe and for Peraza or Trevino, presumably Trevino if he's back healthy,
you break camp healthy because the Yankees offensively have been locked and loaded early. Rodon and how he goes about his business.
1-1 here on a Rosarena. Tips it foul.
And has talked about him that he has really liked the way all of the catchers have gone about their business. Middle of the plate and slow sliders, just like that one there, located well last year.
The 2-2. Peraza over. Peraza back in there after he had been dealing with a little bit of a shoulder issue. Good to see the a little more velocity. Was working kind of 89-91 in the early going.
The starting pitchers, it's a process during the spring, getting their legs on.
3-0 here on Paredes. Swinging 3-0 and just whips.
What a year he had last year with his 31 home runs.
40 OPS, 98 runs batted in. Big swing there. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Diaz. The Yankees will send LeMahieu, Soto, and Judge to the plate in the bottom of the offensively for this team. As Judge swinging fail on the track, able to haul it in for the second out. Right field line.
You know, spring training's a funny time of the year because the ball.
Here's Anthony Rizzo. Takes a strike on the. And 0-2 on Rizzo. Completely derailed after that collision. The 0-2 into shallow right. It's going to get down for a base hit,
but just muscles it into right center field.
Fifth in this Yankee lineup, and takes a 96-mile-an-hour foul. The 0-1 catches the bottom of the zone. It's 0. Breaking ball. Fastball has a lot of life to it here.
How well he did with runners in scoring position, especially with baseball in play.
There you go.
Good swing there, just feet two for second baseman. But I thought it was a situational hitting.
And he has worked this count full.
And it's 22 pitches already for Bradley. There's traffic on the base pass.
3-2, 2 out, so the runners will be going. The 3-2. Second. That will end in Tampa as Carlos Rodon deals ball one. And I've talked about, you all know what a big story Carlos Rodon and bouncing conversations about it. Just kind of, you know, your thoughts right now around
about this a lot. He's the X factor on the hoping that this ball is going to find the glove instead it finds guys. And in 2021 and 2022, you put those two seasons together, Major League Baseball in 2023, he did not perform to the level that he actually tripled up on breaking pitches to Lau, and then each fastball. So I think that has to be part of.
Yeah, I mentioned also, I think he needs to have a good spring for the confidence factor comes.
When I did a game with Michael Kay earlier this year, Flash, every spring training player is, and it's the veteran have anything to. We're going to get another out there.
No, I like you doing it, Jack. Keep going, baby.
But Flash, I think he falls and needs to have some success in a Yankee uniform. Remember how his 2023. So I agree with you. I think results are imperative. It doesn't mean he has to have.
Look, he led the majors in ERA, the 21-22. There's a hesitation for any of us to project for Rodon what his team. That would be great. What they really need is him to just at least be, but they need to at least be able to trot him out and get
trust the pitchers that you give the baseball to every 5 days, and that he can be reliable and dependable and someone that can be all of this, guys. He has talked in spring training about season unacceptable. And I know in talking to Aaron Boone,
see the lack of ground balls last season. You know, I want to ask you too, John. And Rodon wanting to throw a few more changeups, trying to throw a cutter, trying to incorporate that in spring, and how much of a
what are we working on? Are we trying to eyeball to right field on a good fastball? Is it the cutter we're working on today? And can throw that pitch and not worry about, okay, I got to make a perfect pitch here. I can chat it a lot too. It was high fastball, low slider, and it didn't work. Some adjustments and try to figure it out.
And doing a better job of hiding it. And Blake said that that was something that they noticed. And then you're also giving a little glimpse of the baseball to the hitter early.
The foul, how about that?
Yeah, Jack, you can see it already. Yankee dugout and home plate, so he's setting up a little bit closed.
Chopped up the middle, tore a nice top of the second for Rodon. Top of the third inning, Rays a 1-0 lead. It came off the bat of Jack told us about 65 today. That one gets in on Diaz, easy.
Well, you will gain some confidence when you cut a fastball in on the hands of back on that pitch.
And there's a nice breaking ball. The pitches he has and the location of them, but then also when you add
right-handed hitter facing Carlos Rodon. Anything elevated was going to be a hard I'm going to hunt the fastball up, or I'm going to look for the slider down. And you had a change-up down and away from a righty, even into a hitter's mind.
Nice piece of hitting there from Lau. Serves it into.
We'll take another look at the pitch. It's elevated a little bit.
This is down. Season. Skies it into left, easy for Verdugo, 2 down.
Yeah. Got in on the hands of Diaz, just got in on the hands of Arozarena. Again, spring training, you're working on some things during your on that cutter in on the righties.
And then on the swat. 1-2.
Way.
Into third, LeMahieu on to second, and Diaz. We go to the bottom of the third. Inning in Tampa, Oswald Peraza will lead off 9-1-2. So LeMahieu and facing Taj Bradley has been impressive thus far and gets a call there defensively. Yankees looking for him to impact the baseball a little and his ability to make hard contact at the plate. But John, the transformation is spring training.
Wow. What does that mean?
Well, I'm talking about as a broadcaster, not a player, John. Field.
Cleaning up some of that shoulder issue so he can get out here and try to compete for a spot on this player. You can control your physical shape when you will be there.
Yeah, because visually, obviously, that is a stark transfer. LeMahieu, Luka there again to make the catch. It's been interesting. Obviously, I've always admired him, but just getting to be around him now and see his at-bats, how...
You know, I appreciate he just walked up to the plate and took a fastball or a little cutter to get it done.
Stays alive there.
With this guy, the not being afraid to hit with 2 strikes. You see the OP League at bats, whether it's spring training, regular season. There are plenty of little bit. This guy never gives away an at bat. There's an accountability. If this guy is going up there and doing it, dank it up if you're a teammate.
Right, that's the other thing is for those at bats.
Those were 2 tough pitches with 2 strikes.
Left side, Paredes. 1-2-3, bottom of the third. 1-0 Tampa. Montefiore Einstein scoreboard. The Rays are 1-0. Okay, nice. Thanks. It's good to chat with the manager of the New York Yankees. Seen so far today.
Yeah, he's pitching, which is nice to see. He doesn't have landed some secondary pitches in the strike zone, including that one. Biggest thing is I want to continue to trust his work and just keep the blinders on. If we do that, I feel like we'll look up to continue to pitch and continue to work to be.
Saw a changeup away as that ball is drilled to left field, but it just looks to me that
question. And there's going to be days where you don't you go out there with not necessarily because there are going to be those days just based on I think where he's at. That's an important thing for any pitcher, but for
Rodon is in. We know it's tough to struggle in a Yankee going into year 2 and what you've observed this spring.
Yeah, I think he's done what he's needed to do to put himself in position to be successful, and the way I have to focus on. If he's checking all those boxes all the time and doing the work, you're ready to go physically and mentally each and every time. Man, good pitch. Right into spring, and he's had a really nice focus to him.
You know where it's going to be during the year, but he's up, in the upper 50s now with the pitch.
He's done with this hitter here. I'm going to take the headset off and I'm going to go get him, and that'll be it.
Okay.
I will come back. But he's in from that he's in a good place. Away, Louis.
Knowing that, Aaron, I am reticent.
Only Vin Scully could do that.
That's right. Like Michael and me. To right field and deep. Soto looking up, and success for Rodon the rest of the first, second, and third, but a double and a homer on that. Aaron, we know he was pitching today, but ending it with a double and a homer. He's making sure that he feels good and confident throughout the spring, even if the results.
And getting ready to pitch each and every time. And then if he's doing that, he's putting his body on going to the post. Then we can get the results there and into spring.
Out there after he was dealing with the shoulder. We just showed as Velasquez clearly slimming, adding muscle, and kind of the opportunity for him here to make this roster.
Yeah, I think he's kept and carried that now into the winter, and it's important. 5 games there with the shoulder, but played. It's important, because he's such a good player. Got him. The biggest thing I want to focus on is continue to move the needle, really run, has pop in the bat, but it's about tightening turn into that everyday player that we all think he can be at the big league level. Kick your way in when you get those opportunity. Training's an important time for especially young players, especially young.
The guys at the big league level, we just saw a great throw from Terrence behind the plate.
Narvaez, which is elite behind the plate. And so the big league staff have a ton of confidence in him. And, you know, we've added August Ramirez. And then Luis Torrens, who we brought, is getting better. Even this spring behind the plate and how he went out is another guy.
Yep.
Really, our catching crew.
What a luxury.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we appreciate the time, Aaron. Thanks so much, and we look forward to chatting with you again. New York Yankees. Well, the Rays are missing a whole lot of starters this season. Jeffrey Springs also flies it out to center. One away. Working his way back. That's right now.
You know, you have to give Kevin Cash, you have to give the Rays devastating injuries, and to win 99 games last year, producing pitching talent, you would expect them to be in the hunt again this year.
Second hit for Anthony.
We'll take another look at the swing, and it's just a rolling break.
But you're right, John. You almost, and with complete conviction, you and I will sit here and say,
that we've never heard of.
Field a base hit.
And I think it already starts with up there to like about that powerful right arm. And, you know, he went through his growing the side on Glaber, loading up on that back leg and drilling. Baltimore is going to be a beast in the American League East. The Yankees are going to be right there.
In the dirt.
Stan, another guy looking for a rebound season, talked about how ready to hit a little bit earlier so he can take care of that heater once he's training, who he could use a little bit of confidence. Got a hanger right there and missed.
The 1-2. Chop foul. The All-Star break of 2020. Swing and a miss. 96 by
being thrown by him, and you know, maybe he's not going to be able to rebound. I don't know. Soto loading up on his back leg, so Giancarlo kind of looking for some of trying to take care of velocity, and then you say, oh, there.
0-2 on Verdugo. Struck out age, and when it comes to video, obviously on his body. As Verdugo goes down swinging, unable to push anything across. We go to the fifth, 3-0 Tampa Bay. The MLB ballpark app will top of the sixth inning. His favorite still over the Yankees. Ryan Rucco, John Flaherty. Heel into the game. Cadillac scoreboard. His two stars out of Yandy Diaz. Settled down. Going Tommy John. The rest of the first, second, and third. Rosario scored. 2020 Rocket. Yandy Diaz with Palacios home run. His second hit of the field. So 3.78 ERA and 33 innings inflated by one home run. 2022 makes it 4-1. Tommy John.
Well, you get the feeling that they are playing right field
there was
today.
A lot that
primarily a shortstop slider, occasional changeup, and you know, one especially with rotation pieces, because you know it's going to take.
Left side, LeMahieu, one down. As we talked about it with Aaron Boone. 98 on. But how do you think that is so true, John? For a while, but then ends on that sour note with the double and the two going 7-8.
Yeah, Brian, in the fourth inning. Because as we talked to Aaron Boone, we talked about the process. So yeah, team that is leading runs not the way you want to end it, but I think in AAA and getting those legs in shape in the big leagues. And you would have to expect a little bit of fatigue time of spring training.
First, nobody out. Peraza there.
Getting down the line, hustling in spring
that
training,
I do think is going to be hovering over the team all year.
With his throw
when your last graphic that you showed, let's put Luke Weaver off to the side a little bit, because he's probably your number 2. Hampton, Warren, and Jeter. I spoke to Kevin Reese, the Yankees senior director. The guys who maybe aren't totally sure of themselves,
comes right back with
and the guys who like major leaguers, and he's very high on their ability to contribute.
Here, Jack. And that ball is Pudge makes the catch for the second out. How about for you to good feeling? Yeah, this person just by the you can get a good feel misses there with 97
figured out, but when you talk to them, you can tell there's a little bit of doubt and maybe a tick above. The first time
there you go.
He came into camp with the Yankees away from this team. You know, it's the New York Yankees. And I said, well, that mindset.
Yeah.
And he got called up, and you know, all of a sudden got off to a good start. And in spring training, when you get that call to the big, anything different, my stuff is good enough. Body language very important, but also It's always a treat to get in the mind of a young pitcher. When I get some big league experience, I get big league meal money. That's a big deal. Even when the opportunities aren't right in front of you, every time you make them out, take them, and I'm ready if they need me.
On Paredes. Strike three got him looking. In Tampa, Rays lead at 3-0 over the Yanks.
Player, as a coach, as a manager, this Yankee camp so far, how would you describe?
From other coaches who were here last year, the guys that needed to come in ready to go, came in ready.
Next to Aaron Boone during spring training games, that will be your location during the regular season.
Making that forthcoming, you know, something that might near the next couple hitters, etc. And the second thing is just be honest with it. But I need to give him that differing view if I believe in it.
You believe in analytics about 85% of the time, but you also talked about the importance of what the numbers tell you and what your eyes tell you.
Yeah, the numbers generally, they're not going to lie to you. They're going to point you in the... What does it feel like for the pitcher when he's standing on the mound and there's 45,000 people screaming? It plays a role.
So hypothetical in the what does it feel like world.
For a decade against Albert Pujols in St. Louis when I was in Houston, and the gold ring category.
Good stuff from Jack with Brett Ausmus, as that one is grounded right off the... That is going to allow Torrens to score.
Things getting a little sloppy for the Rays defensively here in the... I'm going back to Brad Ausmus. Yeah. What a valuable asset. Full circle and put the pinstripes back on again. You see the resume.
Carved out quite a baseball life after that, and I love and experience and understanding. Yeah, the numbers provide incredible stances when they can't guide you all the way, and you have to lean on the experience.
The other 15% feel.
No, I actually that you're observing, right? And it's those times when there's a huge crowd in a certain moment, or maybe somebody's going through something personally. Back in there because I know he's in a good place. Those things. Maybe that accounts for like downs during a championship season. A guy who graduated from play during the summers is an amazing career, and I got traded to him as a receiver. Field. Rosarena makes the catch for the second
expansion draft, and I'm like so envious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal. Players that you get traded for, and I was like, no way. Like Detroit got Brad Ausmus on Houston, and just an amazing career and just a great baseball man.
Being traded for each other with Brad?
We talked about it. We was lucky enough to go on an extended hitting streak, you know, with the Padres.
Yeah.
Riker's got a pretty good player too in myself, and he's 100% right. And I also liked one more thing. I might have to disagree with the manager. Always give him some different thoughts on some things that maybe Aaron Boone some different thoughts on some different situations, so good for him.
About it, it's my job to express that and express why.
I think part of that too, realizing that Brad Ausmus' job he can do as a bench coach.
Basabe will defense. We go to the 6th with Carlos Rodon.
Carlos, you got your pitch count,
but mixed in a good amount of pitches. You know, it was good to see some balls in the cutter. Fastball.
But he appreciated that you pitched, and you just detailed that. So of those other
working on that cutter, so it was nice. Those sprinkled in some change-ups that, you know, had some. So that kind of helped me. They got him off the fastball a little bit, and yeah, the fastball wasn't quite where.
Between now and then,
we got about 40 more pitches to throw. It's just about 6 up, and eventually just go out there and compete and pitch, not think about, you know, what are we going to work on today. I said I was pretty good at this game. I should be good to go. I just got to stay on the mound.
That's a great answer. You said I'm pretty good at this game.
Yeah, when I'm healthy on the mound. I don't know. Take it at that if you want.
Thanks, Carlos. Back to you guys.
Carlos Rodon's interviews, they're interesting. And I think whole season, obviously, but he should be feeling, you see the numbers for Colby White, that, hey, if I'm healthy.
I wasn't there. I mixed in cutters and changeups. And Jack asked, what do you have to do? Get to the point where you're not thinking about what you, a lot of progress. Now you look forward to that next outing. And the biggest thing, Ryan, tomorrow morning.
Give them to you eventually. As Torres, deep left field and gone. Great.
Well, we talked earlier, also had plenty of power. And if you think about his afternoon today, is back in the 6th and reacts with a home run that he's able to
add in the earlier bats and 2 strike counts, and then the ability to still turn.
where you're taking care of velocity. That's what it looked like for Gleyber to me. Don't know if it was a foul, but the ability to stay back and keep this fair.
Gleyber coming off a season that a typical Yankees winning effort, but this offensive contributor.
You know, Ryan, when there are a lot of hitters in that line, being force all the way through the year, and the numbers.
Verdugo goes down on strikes for a third. A solo shot to left. High fives in the dugout after it. Stab for free. Territorial restrictions apply. Oh, just giving it up. As heel again, Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber, when you look at your plate,
just get a really good plan before that bat. He can strike out the boys, and just be patient. I think I think was great for me last year.
you didn't chase as much. Gleyber needs to be. How do you feel about that approach?
Feels good. Before the game, I prepared really well myself on the case, so you know, short pour is the huge advantage for me, and I was like, don't try to do too much, just put the ball in play and to get more runs, get RBIs, and he's just teach you what you have to do.
The New York Yankees, but you're also the host of your own show.
I do outside the field because they always see the same thing, to do really good content with the fans. And yeah, so far I don't like get a camera behind me every day, but it's just like another.
Talk to him about whether you should try and hit the ball. 2 years old. Obviously, he may not ever hit 38 again, but
here on Jones, I think Ramirez the new pitcher. Also, Jack, you know,
I love where he said he doesn't always think that the pregame and the postgame, you see him mix it up a little bit.
Oh, I love it. Well, Jack, God bless America.